Your life is multidimensional with so many moving parts. What I found personally, as well as what many ambitious, big-hearted women have shared with me also, is when we ask ourselves questions like the ones I just shared, we often know the answers inside.
Hello, and welcome to the Connect podcast. This show is all about helping you connect to your soul's calling so you can take action on it. Because the sweetest success is a blend of discovering your purpose with the inner drive to bring it to life. I'm Sheila, health coach, lifestyle entrepreneur, and mom of two, best known for my online wellness programs, mentoring, and self-love passion. Listen in for inspiring interviews, solo chats, and Q&A sessions that will move you past overwhelm towards what lights you up. Stop accepting good enough and go for your version of great in your health, business, and relationships. Let's get started.
Hey there, and welcome. Today, I'm talking all about relieving overwhelm with self-care. Because right now, it's a time where I think people are going through a lot of different emotions of how to access their best wellness and their best capacity to do all the things they need to do. So today, as we've seen over the last year, there are more stressors around us than ever before. New challenges, daily structures, and more shifts to how we live our life than we've formerly been used to. So it makes sense that overwhelm can be at an all-time high for many people. So what can we do to reduce or hopefully eliminate this overwhelm? All of us are different. We come from a different experience. And those who experience significant trauma in their life early on can be greatly affected by uncertainty and overwhelm later on in life. Some of those very same people, though, may also have developed healthy habits to support them through the difficult times as a result of their early traumas and experiences. And then yet others, which these people are so beautiful in our community, they've made it their life's work to help others through times of high stress or overwhelm after they discovered the tools of how to do it for themselves. So what's most important to know if you're feeling overwhelmed is that you're not alone in it. So many people are facing a variety of emotions right now, and there's a lot of big emotions happening in the world. With that in mind, I invite you not to go through it alone. Reach out to a trusted friend or another professional to walk with you alongside of the situation. And that's why I wanted to talk about this today, to keep shining a light on how you can find hope through the struggles or something that maybe someone in your life is facing. So first off, for high levels of stress and anxiety, there are professionals who offer support online right now, and you can reach out to the health practitioner in your region for who to contact. That's a great place to start if you're really feeling like it's just not manageable for you to do on your own. And what I'm sharing today can really complement even that, anything that a professional assistant may be doing for you. And it can also be very helpful for those who are experiencing higher levels of stress and overwhelm than usual, but it's not something they're needing maybe professional help guiding themselves through it. Finding the day-to-day more challenging than usual, that's something that this is really going to help the average person with. So often in these cases, we can find ourselves moving towards unhealthy habits of coping, like numbing behaviors, eating too much junk food, especially late at night, binging on TV, or social scrolling that, let's face it, that just puts us into the comparison vortex, which is not healthy for our mindset. And having maybe one too many glasses of wine more often than usual, this could send you spiraling down into a state of dissatisfaction, increased dissatisfaction in your life, and also spiraling into thought patterns that just don't serve you. Our beliefs about ourselves and the world around us are often at the core of how we feel and act. So what I always love to direct people back to is asking yourself some questions. So I feel like it's really helpful to begin with asking yourself several of these, and I'll walk you through some right now. And the first one is, what do I believe about my current life situation? Sometimes just saying that out loud to yourself or a trusted person in your life, or even writing it down, will provide immediate relief. Just there's so much power in naming what you're experiencing and the condition of your life right now, what's going on. And once you've named the situation, then you can ask yourself, what, if anything, can I do to control the situation or change it or improve it? Or how can I sit with it and wait for that emotion to pass? Often these things that we're feeling really are, as they say, like clouds in the sky, and we can wait for them to pass. And again, this is for the low-level stressors, the things that are just, we're feeling a little bit more tense and overwhelmed than usual. This is not something that would prompt you to require clinical help with. But again, you know yourself best. And if you know you are experiencing really high levels, I really recommend that you get assistance from someone who's a trained professional. And the next thing, once you really learn this, what, if anything, can I do to control the situation? You're going to say, in a large scale event, like we've all just been through and are still going through, it's totally understandable to believe that we're powerless. Acknowledging this first is so powerful, and having grace on yourself for feeling this way can bring so much ease to your life as well. So in speaking with people, what I've noticed is really often the next words that come out of people's mouth when they say, what can I do to change my current circumstances, is, well, at least I. And then they go on to state things like, at least I have my home. At least my family is healthy. At least I have a job. Or at least I have help from a trusted source. Now, at this point, of course, I also want to say maybe those things aren't true for you right now. Maybe you've experienced incredibly deep losses in many areas of your life, or in one area of your life that's just overtaking everything. And, this really is true for many people. I want to acknowledge that. And in these situations, depending on where you live, hopefully there are social agencies that have programs to assist you through these times. And yet for many people that I see day to day and that I bump into at the grocery store, they're out shopping, so they have the funds, the resources to be able to get there, get the food they need, etc. Their life has just been shifted completely, and their basic needs are met. And yet they are experiencing this sense of overwhelm. This is basically what I'm focusing on today, this little higher level of stress in our lives. In my recordings, I tend to be speaking to ambitious women who are leading careers, businesses, and or families. And I also realize that not everyone fits this category. So I really can't speak specifically to any situation, but I can just give some highlights, some things that even if it doesn't apply right now in this moment, perhaps at some other time in your life, it will. Maybe life is fantastic for you and you're feeling amazing. Maybe everything's going your way. And I'm sure that is true for some people as well. And so I do want to highlight that. We want to celebrate that. And don't feel guilty about if things are going well, because we need to celebrate it when things are going well. And then we also need to be there for each other when maybe things aren't going as well as possible. We need each other because we're all at different kind of phases very often at the same time. But one thing I will say that is universal is the need to have grace on yourself during this time, asking for help, and doing whatever you can to bring a sense of healthy peace into your life. Now, here's a sidebar. I'm talking about this right now, but wouldn't it be great if this exceptional time taught us to have more grace on ourselves as a reflex action? Like, imagine how our lives and contribution would improve if we did that first, instead of beating ourselves up for how things aren't going our way. And if we celebrated those things that are working, if we spent more time doing that, imagine what would happen in our lives and in the lives of the people around us. So we've covered how should you get in touch with a professional if your anxieties are spiraling and you know you can't handle it by yourself. Asking for help is so important. We've also said to name the situation and ask yourself 2 questions. What do I believe about my current life situation? And what, if anything, do I control in this situation? Next, I invite you to explore what you do control. Your thoughts, your breathing, your wake and sleep times, what and how you eat, who you talk to, what information you consume. There's just so many things that you actually do have a say on in every single day. And when I was talking about what and how you eat, it can be the quality of food. It can be the type of food. Are you adding more plants to your diet? Because that anti-inflammatory property in your food can really help have a beautiful response in your body of relieving inflammation. But also how you eat. Are you rushing through meals? Are you stress eating? Are you emotional eating? Are you eating when you're angry? Are you not eating? Are you delaying meals so long that you're so ravenous when you finally do eat, the food doesn't get chewed properly? When you're incorporating nose breathing and pausing while you're eating to really chew and savor your food, everything improves in your digestion. So I really invite you to think about that, how you're eating. And again, I realize that the spectrum for this will look different for everyone. Once you become focused on what you can control, you can see what you can shift. And this involves more questions for you to ponder. So really, this is what today is about. Questions you can ask yourself to help you handle overwhelm. This involves asking, is there a habit that you've known all year or longer that's contributing to your anxiety and overwhelm? Is there a project or idea that you need to put on hold or let go of entirely? Is there an area of your life that you can delegate more or ask for more help at work or at home? And if you're running a business, are there any apps that you can use to automate certain tasks that are draining you? Maybe should you bring on an assistant right now? The world of virtual assistants is exploding, and especially right now with people shifting from other careers to work from home, and they have all these added skills that you can be taking advantage of and helping them maybe launch their assistance business online, and you get to help alleviate some time and tasks that are not lighting you up and that are just stressing you out. Believe it or not, there are people who they love the things that you don't love to do. Sometimes it can be hard to imagine that, but yeah, it is true. So it's beautiful if you can pay someone to do those things. So what I've found during times of stress and uncertainty is that my life is in the best form of self-care. Like what I can do is when I get really, really granular about the inner workings of what's going on. So I can look at all the things I do in like a day, a week, a month, and the way that I do them. And identifying that, seeing if there's any changes that I need to make is a really big part of that shift that can alleviate some overwhelm in my life. So I've seen this happen, and it's something that I'm constantly revisiting. Often we keep doing the same things over and over because we've always done them this way. And yet we can always decide to make a change. Going into the day-to-day activities can help bring clarity on these things for you. Self-care can also take on the form of just creating pockets of quiet space to assess your life in all the different details, emotions that you're facing. And then it leads you to asking yet another question. What would make me feel lighter, more supported, or more at ease right now? It could be something as simple as dropping everything and just going to bed early tonight before your teenagers. I did that the other night, and I got to say it was really strange because I'm like, no, I need to stay awake until they're in bed. Then I can go to bed, because that's always what I've done for 15 years. But I said, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm tired. One of them was doing a soccer training in the basement. I'm like, you finish up, have your snack and shower. I just need to go to bed. And the outcome was that I was so much more rested and clear-headed the next day. And of course, my teenagers were like, oh, that was really cool. So it could also be something, though, as big as reassessing your career path. That's a big question, right? But hey, you can ask that question. You can create a new career path. You can create a plan to create one over the next 1 to 5 years. Who knows? This time I find it has been so clarifying for many people. And your life is multidimensional with so many moving parts. What I found personally, as well as what many ambitious, big-hearted women who have shared this with me also, is when we ask ourselves questions like the ones I just shared, we often know the answers inside. You know, we always have known something was going on. We may not know exactly, but we are very intuitive creatures, right? So much of the time we know. We may have even known the answer for a very, very long time, but we were too distracted, afraid, or maybe we were trying to live up to someone else's expectations. As I end this conversation for now, I just want to remind you that you're wise and you're worthy of feeling at peace. Using self-care to help you ease overwhelm is an accessible way that anybody can do this. And all you need to do is to start with being gentle with yourself, get honest, and make those shifts you most need. Always knowing that there's people around you willing to help if you just ask. I hope you find these questions and potential action steps helpful and that you'll make space to assess how you're really doing this week. Don't put it off. Create the time for it because you are so important and your time and your life force energy is so important. Let's use it to its best capacity. So I would love to hear what came up for you as you listen to this. Please share this with me in the comments. And you can tag a friend who you think might relate. And you can tag me at Sheila A. Botello to let me know as well. In our virtual world, this is just one way that we can stand together in a time where we can feel an abundance of solitude. I'm so glad that you were listening today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. What stood out to you as you listened today? If you found it helpful, please share this episode and tag me at Sheila A. Botello on Instagram. It may be just the message someone needs to hear today. As always, these Q&A sessions are for educational purposes only and are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any health issues you may have, and I highly recommend that you consult with your doctor before beginning any new health protocol. I'll see you next time. Big blessings.
Thank you so much for being here with me on the Connect podcast. If you like this episode, please share it with someone you think would enjoy it. Also, if you head over to iTunes to leave a review, I'd be so grateful. Let us know what your favorite parts were and what you'd like to hear more of. It will help us have a greater impact, elevating many more people to grow and succeed together. See you next time.